Hello, this is Luis Somoza with Double a Donation. Today I created a really basic donation form and confirmation page with the purpose of showing you how to install the plugins on both pages. So here we're looking at the donation form that I created, and it's going to look totally different from yours because this is just like a quick and dirty form. Here's the Streamline Search plugin that I want to show you how to install today. But I went ahead and just pre-populated this donation form with some fake data. This is my real email address, and we'll go ahead and put in an amount, 550. Phone number, we'll just put some fake data in there. Just for illustrative purposes, and we'll go ahead and make the donation, but without using the Streamline Search tool. I want to show you what the outcome is. We get the confirmation page, but most importantly, we get the Double the Donation plugin here as well. And essentially what this does is it gives the donor another opportunity to look for their company, since they couldn't find it on the donation page, and in this case they just didn't use it. So if we go into the 360 Match Pro portal, you'll see a few things here. You'll see that the donation for 550 was recorded, and you'll see that right in the portal. If you make the donation and you don't see it in the portal, that means something went wrong. So I'll come back over here to the test page here I created, and I'll do the same exact thing, but just to differentiate the donation, I'll go ahead and just put in like 890 for the amount, and this time I'll search for a company, and I found a company, so I'll make the donation. And instead of having the plugin that where you can just search an arbitrary company, the plugin is going to tell you exactly what corporation you found from the donation page. And again, going to the portal, it's always a good idea to sort of like check to make sure that the donation went through, and here's $890, and most importantly, this tells us that the status is waiting for a donor. So it logged the company that the donor found on the donation page. That's really important. Whereas in the previous one, it says unknown employer because the plugin wasn't used. So that's a good way to like sort of like look at the data to make sure that everything came accordingly. Here's the unique identifier to the donation, and it should match what's on the donation page, which it does. And that unique identifier is something that is created by you, not us, since it's the unique donation identifier of the actual donation that was just processed. So I want to give you a few pointers here. If we go into the plugin and just sort of inspect the elements, you'll notice that here's the plugin. You'll notice that there's like several hidden input elements, just to kind of show you how this works. The most important ones are Double the Donation company ID and Double the Donation status. Okay, and as the donor comes in and looks for a company, you'll notice that those hidden input elements get updated automatically. And we don't record the data into 360 Match Pro at this point, because a confirmation number, or basically a unique donor identifier, does not exist. We rely on you to pass those hidden input elements back to the confirmation page. And I'll kind of show you how all that is done here today. So this real basic form I created just consists of 3 files. It's just a real basic ASP.NET MVC application. Your architecture will be just totally different. You're probably using a whole different technology stack, but this will do the job for illustrative purposes. Here I have a donation page, HTML page, a confirmation page, and a little processor on the server to process the donation. So in order to get the plugin installed on your donation page, the best thing you can do is consult with the API docs, which are here. Uh, right now, I'm running them locally, but the URL will be pasted. So there should be a donation form tab, and we'll just follow the steps here. Step one, just copy and paste this little bit of code into your donation form, which is what I did on lines 25 and 26. And basically that just pulls in the DD plugin.js file and the style sheet. And then in step two, there's like a container here where the plugin is going to be displayed. I just went ahead and copied and pasted that to line 18, line 19. And I put a little friendly message on 18 so the user can know what the plugin is. The most important thing, you can put that plugin that anywhere you'd like, but the most important thing here is that I put it within the form tag so that the hidden input elements, just to refresh your memory, just so that the hidden input elements on the actual plugin get passed on to your server. So that's why I put the plugin inside of the form tag. So we'll go to the back end, to the server side that processes the donation, and yours is going to look totally different. Here, I'm just sort of taking in the input fields on the form, which I created, lines 12 through 16. What you don't see on this page, but you do see on the back end, is the Double O donation company ID and the Double O donation status. I'm pulling that in from the donation form as well, and that basically corresponds to these hidden input elements on the plugin. And I'm not really processing any data here, since this is just for presentation purposes. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm attaching all these fields to a view bag, which just pushes it into the confirmation page. You'll see where I push the donation status field into the confirmation page. Most importantly here, lines 29 through 34, I check to see if the Double O donation company ID is an empty string or null, because if it is, then that means that the plugin wasn't used, or a Double O donation company was not found. And then, I just sort of make that a null explicitly. But if those fields aren't null and there's actual number, which in this case is like 54 since the company was found, then I'll go ahead and pass in the real number to the server on to the confirmation page on line 36. So we'll go to the confirmation page, and it looks a little intimidating, but it's really truly no big deal. It's a lot of copying and pasting, honestly. So the best thing to do is to go to the documents again and go to the confirmation page and just follow those steps as well. Here I just went ahead and copied the script and the CSS, pasted it right onto my confirmation page in lines 14 and 15. And then I went into step 2, and this is actually where you register the donation. So this is the most important part. But I went ahead and just copied all this code in step 2 and pasted it right here, lines 18 through 31. Since I did it all right on the HTML page, I just wrapped the whole thing in a script, lines 19 through 46. But the more idiomatic way is probably to put that JavaScript code like in a callback function, like listening to the DOM content loaded event, or maybe jQuery's ready function. The important thing is that this code here gets invoked after the DTD plugin.js file is loaded and executed. So, like I said, I went ahead and copied all this code and just kind of pasted it in 18 through 19. But the important thing is that you have to replace the orange fields with year data. So that's exactly what I did. You'll see here that this is the actual data from the actual donation data that I'm putting in, so we can actually register the donation. But most importantly, you'll see that I put in a public key, and that's like so important. Um, that's just basically going to be the nonprofit's public key. And if you're a partner, an integration partner, you're going to have the ability to provision new accounts. And if you go into the docs again, and let's see here, yeah, there's like provisioning 360 accounts. It tells you, how to call the endpoint, and the data that's going to be returned from create 360 account endpoint is going to include the 360 Match Pro private key and public key. And if you're an integration partner, then that's what you're going to put in here is the nonprofit's public key. So we'll go ahead and wrap this confirmation page up. Going back to the docs, we did step 1, we did step 2. Let's go ahead and do step 3 now. And this is actually where you're going to put the plugin. So essentially where this is going to appear, the plugin part. So in step 3, we'll take this div here and just paste that puppy right here, right into the confirmation page on line 12. You can put it just about anywhere you want, though. It's just, I thought it was a good idea to put it up here somewhere. So now scrolling down, we've got a little bit more code here, and I just went ahead and copied this code verbatim and just pasted it in lines 33 through 45. And again, the orange fields, those are the fields that you have to replace. So I went in and I put in, our data in here. Again, I put in the public key, the DTD selected company, which is here, which is essentially what we returned from the server. And, I just, almost all this code in here is just copied and pasted straight from the API docs. All you have to do is make sure that you replace the orange fields. Yeah, so that's how I created the confirmation page. And again, just sort of coming back here, what you really want to do is sort of like just have your console open, and as you're working through this, just make sure you don't get any errors that are related to the actual processing of the donation. So for example, like here, I'm going to force an error. Let's say I'm going to take I'll just go ahead and force an error, just remove that. So let's go ahead and process this. You'll see I get an error in the console, and when I'm debugging, it tells me exactly what went wrong, which is exactly what I changed here. So as you're doing this, really what you want to look for is you want to make sure that relevant errors aren't popping in the console, and you want to make sure that your donations are actually being recorded using the 360 Match Pro portal. And again, just when you make a donation, you want to see the plugin on the confirmation page, and if the company was selected successfully and found, you want to see oh yeah, let's see, I forgot to save this here. I forgot to save the fix. Yeah, so just type in more arbitrary information. And when the company's found, you basically want to see the name of the company here. So that's all there is in a nutshell. Just want to make sure that the plugins get installed and the data gets recorded. on the portal. The really cool thing about this partner portal is you can look at all your donations, and you can actually manage like the emails that get sent out. So here, it lets you say, hey, this is the email that's initially sent out to eligible donors. And since I used my own email account here as for testing purposes, please don't use my email account. I don't want to get bombarded with emails. I just sort of went ahead after I made some donations and just waited a little bit, and you'll see these sort of emails pop up into your inbox if everything works appropriately, if you've installed everything right, and you have like the correct email set up here in the portal. That's it, though. Just make good friends with this API documents, and just sort of follow along here and have a good time. Um, Thank you.